Hey there, J. Michael King here. You know, there's a lot of folks that can play more complicated guitar than John Prine, but nearly all of them don't sound half as good. There's a solidness to the way that John Prine plays and a practicality. The solidness comes from solid timing and really good tone. The practicality comes from never playing anything that overwhelms the song or takes away from his fantastic storytelling. Today we're going to do a couple of slices of John Prine fingerstyle, which is just a thumb and index style of guitar playing. Here's the intro to Illegal Smile, which is played out of a G chord shape. Let's break it down into two pieces. Here's my G chord at the 5th fret. The first thing you've got to do is just learn how to go from the 6th string to the 4th string with your thumb. Let's look at that a little closer. Sorry about the reflections there. The sun is shining in South Carolina. So, you can play the entire song with just this pattern, but he's going to sling some notes in with his index finger. So that index finger is playing the G string. So let's look at the second part. Let's look at the left hand first, because there's a little left hand action in here, where you're hammering. So that little hammer takes place in the same amount of time as just the plain note for the first pattern. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then you sling in your finger notes. Once you've got that down, you can work on picking up the speed. And once you've got that down, slow back down and try to add the first part, which is just played once, to the second part, which is played 3 times. Singing starts. And that's the introduction to John Prine's Illegal Smile. Hello in there is a little bit more complicated than the Illegal Smile introduction, in that it has more chord forms in it for the left hand to make. However, it's quite a bit slower, so things even out. So you start out with the G shape once again, and we're capoed at the 5th fret, just like Illegal Smile. So you play the G chord for one measure. You move to an A minor, and here you're playing the 5th string, the A string, going to the G string, the 3rd string. And then you go to a D7 and play strings 4 and 3, the D string and the G string. And you play 2 measures of the D7. Let's look at the left hand. So we've got a standard G, standard A minor, a standard D7. It's always a good idea with this style of guitar playing to get your thumb really internalized. Well, this measure has the only pinch note in it. By pinch, I mean I'm playing my index and my thumb at the same time, and I'm playing the string 6 and string 1 at the same time. I'm also holding the G chord when I do that. So I would advise you to just play that one measure over and over till you get it, and then move on to the next measure, which is the A minor chord, and just repeat. And then maybe try the G chord. Okay, here's the D7 chord. I'm going to leave that last note out while I'm working on the D chord. That last note kind of hooks you back to the G chord or to the next chord in the progression. So here's the first measure of D7. Notice that there's not a finger note in between the third thumb note and the fourth thumb note. Right there. Second measure of D7. And you'll notice that there is a finger note in between thumb number 3 and thumb number 4 on that measure. Now I'm putting in that very last finger note right there, and you notice that that's kind of, well, it's not a part of the D chord, so if I'm playing the D chord over and over again, I'm just going to leave that out. So here's both measures. So that little missing note, along with him lifting up his third finger to an open string there on the open E, really creates a beautiful little melody there. I lift up. So and the whole passage, starting with the G, nice and slow. Hope you have a great week. Stay safe. See you next time.